cover today and to do more, that can be applied both to the ganchos, to the boreos, things like that. So it's mainly what we talk about mainly today is the latest portion of the step, but we can actually apply it. The men do exactly the same thing. If we're led into doing this movement, or if we decide to do something like that, like boreo, we'll do the same thing. So, now, our first movement was simply going into the cross basic step and sending the lady to the straight back boreo. So I'm going here, I can give her a little bit of a lift so she doesn't accidentally change her weight. I'm going forward with my left foot and I'm establishing an impulse, sending her out there. Okay? Now guys, important part for the ladies. I want to see the sweep. Okay? So the sweep is the key here. So you don't just simply kick upwards, but you actually engage in your hip. You engage in your hip from the moment from here. So see, when I'm doing the step, and then I'm going pump at this point, so when I'm stopping, so Diana is ready to move with her right leg from here, where she's still on the floor, by moving through the floor and still going up until she, at the moment when she cannot physically stay on the floor anymore. So 1, 2, 3. Nice. Okay? So the knee bends upwards by inertia. Okay? And again, that works the same way for both the men and for the ladies. So I'm going here. 1, sweep. She steps forward. When I move back, the movement of my torso, my whole body actually, is what brings her back towards me. When you guys will be leading the gancho is going to have a similar motion for the man, just a rope step, essentially. Okay? So ladies, the degree of the impulse that you, the degree of the lift that happens with your leg, with your right leg, is directly, it's proportional to the man's lead. So if I'm sending it intensely, she's going to do it the same intensity with which I'm sending her outwards. Okay? So that's the first thing. Now, the same concept as I do a back boreo from the back ocho. So I'm rotating her here. I'm doing the change of direction. I'm doing a very light change of direction. She can just simply keeping the foot on the floor, just kind of caress the floor. So she's still sweeping the floor. Okay? Now, if I'm doing a slightly stronger one, she's sweeping the floor, and when she cannot stay over there further, she's going to lift it up. Let's check first. This is more of a classic boreo. So 1, 2, 3. And again, for the lady, the assumption is that she's doing a back ocho. She's always doing a back ocho. So she doesn't know when we're going to lead it. So unless the man leads the change of direction, she's not going to do the boreo. Okay? But the sweep part has to happen on either side of the movement. Okay? Now, next thing, when I'm doing the gancho, same concept. The movement is going to come from the hip by the lady. So I'm doing here, I'm doing a sandwich. I'm stepping back, I'm sending her to the front. I'm trying to send her further forward, okay, so she has more room to actually do that sweep. Okay? So, as I'm leading her, stay to the step, I'm sending her front, my left leg, I'm moving in. So I'm going upwards, sliding her onto the toe, and twisting her. And she's going as far as she can into my footwork. Again, she's only lifting it when she physically cannot keep the foot on the floor any longer. So again, 1, 2, 3, and going out there. So guys, try to make the movement a little bit smoother, or maybe put more emphasis on the smoothness than on the strength and the impulse. Just okay. So again, the 3 movements we discussed today. One was from the cross basic, going straight forward. That can be a movement in itself. If you're dancing for something alternative per se, and there's nobody in the room around you, you feet. Okay. The other one is going from the back ocho. However many times you guys are going to read it. Okay. Just going forward. And the rancher, kind of like spark it all. So from here, and out there. And gentlemen, the same thing for us. If I decide to do a gancho, so she's here, right? I'm going to move myself through. So again, I'm sweeping the through. I'm not just kicking like that. I'm sweeping further in to create the step. So we'll talk about the guy's gancho later on.